Welcome back, everyone. Well, as usual, I got going on the project and completely forgot to start things up. So, here's the need to do this after the fact kind of intro. So we're going to be taking the seats out of the bus today. I'm not going to show you the inside because as of the time I'm recording this, the seats are already gone. But we're going to take them out and I'll video the whole thing for you coming up. There's a start. So, you have two rear bolts on the back leg, two front bolts on the front leg, and then there are three across that outside flange out there. Those out there are really easy to get off. Just a standard, this is a 13 millimeter socket. Yeah, 13 millimeter, half inch would work too. Those are actually attached to the seat frame, so they're easy to get off. It's just these ones in the middle that are a bit of a pain. So, plan will be, I'm going to cut these bolts loose, one seat at a time, pop them off, and keep removing them, working my way forward. Well, this seat over here that you're looking at is a little bit harder to take out. This one must have the rear heater underneath it. At least I'm pretty sure that's what I'm looking at. So, it's attached to the seat, which is getting in the way of the hardware. I've got most of it disconnected, but one more bolt to take out, so let's see what we can do with a wrench. Alright, there we go. Well, it's getting dark enough. I don't know if you can see, but I'm having trouble seeing. So I think I'm going to call this good. We'll get these two out of here and call it a night. Well, come on up here with me. I think we just about got it. There we go. So, 77 passenger bus. The seats are all out here. This is the last one right up here. Obviously we got these two partitions up here in front. We got some of the bolts cut off of these. So 2 bolts on each side down through the center of the bus. One on each here. And then they've got a couple on the sides holding them in. So this is the last seat, and the reason I left it behind, sitting right underneath this one, is this. So this is the recording system for all the cameras. I was wondering where this was going to be. I should be able to disconnect it, but I just have to make sure that I cover up any hot wires that I might have. So I'm going to cut them one at a time. But basically, school buses have several cameras in them. You got this one up front here. You got one over here by the side. And we got this one back here, partway back. So I'll be removing all of these as I take the top down off the inside. But let's cut this loose and get this last seat out of here. Well, we got it. So, let me show you what we're dealing with up here. So I removed the handrail from up front. It was screwed in down here at the bottom. And then it had a set of screws coming in right about up here at the top of the handrail where it was attached to that padded divider. So we got that out of here. This one on this side had 3 bolts down here in the side piece. It had 2 bolts down here through the floor. Here. Yeah, 2 bolts. Here and here. And then it was also screwed down across the front down through here. Then the one here behind the driver's seat, it had 3 bolts inside. Right there. And then it had 2 bolts over here on this side, in the back, and up in front. So, we now have everything taken out of this bus. Got 31 feet of linear real estate here. Next step, I'm going to clean up the floor, get all the trash up off of here, get it vacuumed. I want to be able to do some planning as far as the floor plan is concerned. So these fenders were a little bit bigger than I thought they were going to be. So just to give you a reference point, here's my foot. It's about 11 inches long. So considerably larger than I thought. They are taking up quite a bit of space back here. My original plan was to kind of make the bathroom straddle this one. And then over here I was going to put some shelving. But I'm pretty sure if I bring this wall out to kind of where that point is there, that's not a lot of room to walk by. So I have to take a look and see what I can do with that. So, next steps, clean everything up, get some good measurements about where the fenders are, what size I'm dealing with here, put all that in the CAD program and start playing with some floor plans. And once I've got something I think I like, then I'm going to come out here and tape it all off and just see what it looks like. I've got all of my holding tanks, all the gray tanks as well as the freshwater tank. So I should be able to lay them out as well, since most of them are going to be inside the bus. I might even buy a shower pan just to get a better idea of what that's going to look like. But as I start working on the floor plan, I'm also going to start taking off some of this extraneous interior. So these air conditioning units are going to go. One here, one up closer to the front. So I'm pretty sure this is where all their plumbing is located. These are all just held on by sheet metal screws. I'll get working on those, take that off of here. So all this is coming out. Then once I have these units down, I'll deal with this heater. I need to figure out, I think the plumbing and the wiring for the heater is probably running through this sort of conduit here. And this is screwed down. So I should be able to pop that loose and see what I got underneath it. I really don't want to have all that stuff inside here if I can avoid it, but then again, maybe I will. I'm not quite sure. But this heater's got to go. This is a big, massive thing, and I definitely don't need that. So, it's going to be gone. The floors are coming out at some point. I want to put in a better subfloor. But the reason for designing the floor plan before I remove this stuff is when I figure out what kind of lumber I need for the floor, I want to have wood in the subfloor beneath all of my walls and anything that might be heavy. So I'd like to have at least a little bit of wood underneath the freshwater tank, something I can mount to. It's a little more solid than just mounting to the plywood. So we'll kind of work with that. Obviously the windows are all coming out. all the skirts up here on top. All the lights, speakers, the hatches, everything's coming out. And up here, these roof panels are riveted in place. You can see that there. So I saw another YouTube channel recommended using a punch on an air hammer to knock out the center pin, and then going across it with the flat blade of the air hammer. I'll see how that goes. I'll give that a try, show you what it looks like. If I like it, then I'm going to start working on taking these upper sheets down. If I don't, then I'll just use a flat disc or some other kind of grinding wheel and go to town on it. So, lots of work yet to do. I think up here, this is another air conditioner. Sorry about the noise. Yeah, another air conditioner up here. So, I don't know. I'll have to see exactly how the plumbing is set. So here's some more stuff coming up from underneath. I'm not quite sure what that is. I suppose that could be the plumbing for this AC unit. Obviously we got this one over here. So I'll have to see how these are all set up and how the plumbing is connected. I wouldn't mind leaving this one in place potentially. But I also don't want to leave the other half of this running out of battery. Don't want to leave the other half of this down under the bus. So let me show you where that's located. Okay, so over here, this is the other half of the air conditioning unit. I just don't like it down here. I know they do this all the time, but I want to take this off-road to some degree. I'm not going to go crazy with it, but I want to go on some mud and gravel and maybe a little bit of slick rock, I'm not quite sure. But I really don't want to have this down here where I could be throwing rocks at it or potentially hit it with something. So I'm going to get that out of there. But anyway, turn on the light so I can see you. Turn off the big one here. There we go. So, got the seats out, and I'll keep you informed as we do more updates. So I'll see you over the next horizon.